Hello, everyone. Good afternoon. Am I audible? Can anyone hear me? If you can't unmute, you can just say yes. Awesome.
Yeah, I can listen. However, and it is on dot on. I don't know if it is my phone.
Okay. We're going to wait for a few more minutes for our facilitator for today to join in, and at the same time, we would wait for more people to join our meeting for today. As you all know, Ms. Oyindamola Osinubi is going to be teaching us about digital literacy, navigating the digital world effectively, and it promises to be an exciting session, and we're looking forward to it. And the slides would also be shared to everyone at the end of the session. So let's just wait for a few more minutes. Let's wait for more people to join. You can also message on the group chat for people to join in, and then let's just wait until we start. Emmanuel, good afternoon. Are you on our WhatsApp group chat? Hello?
Hi, could you come again? Were you talking to me?
Yes, good afternoon. I was asking, are you on our WhatsApp group chat?
I am seriously not there, but I really desire to be there.
I see. Okay, I guess as much. We made an announcement on who won the mentorship actually this week. And I noticed that when I was going to tag you, only for me to realize we're not on the group chat. So you won the mentorship with Mr. Johnson. He
Yes.
announced it and we posted it on the group chat who the winner was. So when I realized I didn't see a reaction from you was when I noticed that you were probably not on the group chat. For anyone else here, let me just put the group chat link so that you could join in. I think I'll share my screen so that you could see the statement he made also for anyone else who is joining while we wait for our speaker for today.
Thank you so much. It's my pleasure.
You're welcome. All right, so the group chat link has been posted. I would share Mr. Obanje's message as we wait for our facilitator for today. So this is just a follow-up from session 6 where he told us that one person would get to be part of his mentorship program. Can everyone see my screen? All right, so I'm just going to read out. So announcing our effective speaking challenge winner. Dear participants, I want to take a moment to express my sincere appreciation to each and every one of you who participated in the Effective Speaking Challenge. Your efforts, courage, and commitment to growth are truly commendable. Stepping out of your comfort zone to improve your public speaking skills is already a big win. After carefully reviewing the submissions, I am delighted to announce that the winner of the challenge is Emmanuel Abuola. Congratulations, Emmanuel. Your presentation stood out for its clarity, confidence, and engagement. You have won a 1-month public speaking mentorship worth $150 with me, and details on how to proceed have been sent to your email. To everyone else, please know that this was not just about winning. Every one of you is a winner because you took action and made progress. Keep honing your public speaking skills, practice consistently, and seize every opportunity to speak with confidence. Your journey to mastering effective communication has only just begun. Thank you once again for being part of this challenge. Keep pushing yourself, and I look forward to seeing your continued growth. So, congratulations once again, Emmanuel, and well done to everyone else who took part in the challenge. Congratulations to everyone. All right, so as we wait for our speaker, she actually told us she'd be here in at 12:15 Cork time, so that's about 6 minutes. I just want to know so far, how has everyone's feedback been? If you were to evaluate before you started, I mean, there's already going to be a survey that is going to be held. We are already more than halfway through this program. We started at the end of February, and we finish in about 2 weeks. Next week is the last official session, and then the week after there'll be a capstone project, and then upper week will now be our graduation ceremony. But if you can unmute, I'll just like to know um how has the program been for you so far? So in comparison with when you started up until now, what would you say? Do you feel more confident? Is there anything you have noticed that is different? Anything that I would like anyone to be able to share this. Also, during the graduation ceremony, we're going to have a special section where we get to talk about different ways people have interacted. So, for example, there'll be awards, the most active person who always does assignments on time. And then one or two people would also get the chance to join our internship program. So these are things that I just thought we could share today as we wait for our facilitator. We would give one or two people the chance to be part of our internship program for about 6 to 12 months. If you go to a volunteer program, it's a way for you to hone your skills, build your skills, and gain experience. So the most active people in the group so far would also get the chance to be part of that. But before we move into any of that, I just want to know, how's been the experience? Who wants to go first? You could unmute or you could type in the chat room as we wait for our facilitator to join us. How's the experience been so far over the past? I think we met for the first time in February, so or is it March? I'm not too sure now. But okay, let's say the past 1 month. How has it been for you so far? Who would like to go first? Let me just confirm. Can anyone hear me? Have I been speaking to myself? Can anyone hear me?
Yeah, sure. We're listening to you.
Okay. Would you like to go
And
first?
yeah, thank you. I would really love the pleasure to do that. Seriously, I've gained a lot of things from the start until now. I remember we talked about improving the LinkedIn account and some other things related to that, applications, volunteering, and so many, important issues that were discussed from the start until now. And I can gladly say that my LinkedIn account has really grown so fast. And I've also volunteered according to, I was pushed, I can say, throughout, the teachings. I have always been pushed to make applications and, to submit things, even when I was not willing to do that. And congrats to myself. Just last week, I've been to run the social media of Yalda Africa as a social media editor, and I am volunteering. That is one of the impacts that I've gained from this session. And along with that, I've also been given a chance to train my, other group members who are part of Yalda. You know, this one stems from, I can say from public speaking and grammar and other conversational things that were discussed by Mr. Ogbanje. So this one came from the art of writing. I am a very great writer, and because of that, I've always been commenting on the social media platforms for Yalda Africa, and I've been recognized and acknowledged, and I've been given a chance to train my other, colleagues on next Thursday uh, on a theme that is reading, commenting with purpose. So this is all coming from uh, this session that I've been attending from February until now. So I can gladly say this has really improved me a lot. And I've been exposed to so many opportunities after being forced to go out of my comfort zone to do things out of my way. So thanks to you and all the organizers of this session. It's really been so great, and I look forward to um, celebrating and having myself being awarded at last. Thank you.
Awesome. I'm so glad to hear that. And congratulations once again, Emmanuel. It's always such an honor and it's always such a blessing to hear how these sessions are able to impact other people and help them to reach their full potential. So thank you so much for sharing, Emmanuel. Would anyone like to go next? I think we'll just do one more person before our speaker joins in. Anyone like, okay, I saw a comment. Let me read the comments I saw. Frank Moyo says, it has been fantastic. I appreciate your help and efforts. I have gained a lot of knowledge. Awesome. Anyone else like to unmute or just talk? How's it been so far? Are we shy? Should I call names? Who would like to go? Okay, Frank, you're out of it. Emmanuel is out of it. Mohammed, Moyaneza, I hope I got that pronunciation right. Shedi, Jack Tone, Iman, who would like to go? Just talk. How has the experience been so far? What have you learned? If you haven't learned anything, I think you can also say that. Have you learned or have you not learned? So over the past, we've been here for about a month already together. Next week is the last official session before the last final meeting session before our capstone project. We would also meet so that everyone will be put in groups as I previously mentioned, but the capstone project is something that we are going to work on together. So I just want to know, how's it been? Okay, Iman wrote, I really appreciate your endless support. Everything we have discussed was valuable. That's awesome to hear. That's awesome to hear. All right, let's hold on for a few more minutes. Our facilitator will be joining any minute from now. But I think as we wait for her to join in, I will just read her profile. So our facilitator for today is Miss Oyindamola Osinubi, and she's going to be talking to us about digital literacy, navigating the digital world effectively. So that's our topic for today. Digital literacy, navigating the digital world effectively. So now, who is Oyindamola? Oyindamola Osinubi is a communication strategist, social impact professional, championing quality education, digital literacy, and gender equity through her nonprofit Shapers Network Africa. Through initiatives such as Guild for Now and Digify Summit, she has trained over 2,500 youth from 9 African countries, including Nigeria, Kenya, Rwanda, and South Africa, equipping them with skills to prepare for the future of work and shape their communities. She also mentors adolescent girls aged 10 to 19 and young women aged 18 to 25 through the Femme Forge project, equipping them with the knowledge to tackle poverty and drive change, reaching 506 girls in 3 states. She holds a bachelor's degree in communications and language arts from the University of Ibadan and an executive mini MBA in entrepreneurship and business management from the Faith Foundation and the Sherry Blair Foundation for Women and Venture in Management program. She's an alumna of the European Union Youth Sounding Board, where she provided advisory on green and digital economy policies, the United Nations Office of Counterterrorism, Youth Engagement and Empowerment Program, where she presented policy recommendations on preventing and countering violent extremism among young people at the 2024 YEEP National Policy Dialogue. All right, everyone, just give me a minute. I just need to respond to our speaker. She just sent me a message. Just give me a minute and I will continue reading her profile for today. Okay. All right. So where did I stop? All right. Where did I stop? Okay. At the 2024 YEEP National Policy Dialogue, World Summit Awards Youth Ambassadors Program, where she promoted local digital innovations and served on the Young Innovators Online Jury, and the U.S. State Department's Community Engagement Exchange Program alumna, where she provided support for the Civic Charge project implementation at Accountability Lab in Washington, D.C. She has been featured on the United Nations website recognized by She Leads Africa and Donors for Africa, and received the Diana Award for her remarkable contributions to society. She is currently a writing fellow at the African Liberty. Wow, so this is Miss Oyindamola Osinubi in a nutshell, and I see she has joined us now. So everyone, let's give a warm welcome to Miss Oyindamola Osinubi. Thank you so much for joining us today. Would you like me to share the slides, or I don't know if you could hear me. Um, let's see.
Yes, we hear you.
You hear
Madam.
me? Awesome, awesome. Okay, I'm sure any minute from now we would be starting.
You can continue.
Okay, I think our facilitator just got logged out. She'll be joining again shortly. So let's just wait for a few minutes for her to join back in.
Okay. That will be.
We'll be starting shortly. But I think in the meantime, let me show you her presentation so that we know where we're starting from. So let's do it on slideshow mode. So the presentation, okay, she's back. Digital literacy, navigating the digital world effectively. Do I have a comment? Okay.
No.
Hi, hello everyone. Good afternoon.
Good afternoon.
Please, can everyone hear me?
Yes. Loud
Okay,
and clear.
so first I'd like to apologize for coming at this time. It wasn't my intention, but where it was some sort of emergency and it took more minutes than I envisaged. So I apologize. It was in my intention to be late or to seem disrespectful, but it's good I eventually made it, and thank you to everyone on the call. In the course of the presentation, I'll see if I can share my video. But if not, I guess we'll just have to make do with my audio for now.
Okay, no problem.
So I'm asked to facilitate the session on digital literacy, navigating the digital world effectively. I'll be sharing a couple of tips with you. I'm sure you are not, most of them won't be strange actually if you've been in this space or if you are familiar with this subject matter. And I'll also be sharing my experience and then sharing some unique insights from my own experience. Please, can you move to the next slide? Okay, so what is digital literacy? I'm sure many of us must have heard the word digital literacy, and especially now with the disruption of AI and technology across industries, you must have heard that, this is not the time to be digitally illiterate. It literally can cost you your job. It can cost you your survival because of the way things are right now. Even in the workplace, we have tech and AI integrating into more tools. We have tech and AI integrating into more things to do. So as a student, because I want to believe with final year students and then maybe undergraduates or maybe entry-level candidates that are here, according to the email I got, this is the time to self-educate yourself on digital literacy, on the basis of digital literacy, on what it entails, on what it means for you in terms of personal development, what it means for you in terms of professional development, what it means for you in terms of career growth. Because we live in a world where even what you studied in school might not obtain maybe in the workplace as you think. And so you need to do a lot of reskilling and upskilling, which I'll explain in the course of this. Reskilling and upskilling to obtain that knowledge and to obtain the skills you need to for any employer to employ you, or even if you want to start your business or start out on your own. Please, am I audible? Can everyone hear me?
Loud and clear. Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. So digital literacy is the ability to use digital devices, communications, and networks effectively and safely. It also involves critical thinking, responsible engagement, and all. And right now, large percentage of jobs require digital skills. So I know you might not, maybe you didn't learn anything about computer studies, or there was nothing digital about the course you studied in school. Trust me, whatever course you study right now has a tech aspect, has a digital aspect that you must know how to use. Even with medicine, we have many instances where tech is not even used to enhance medicine. So whether you're a doctor or you are a nurse or you are a physiotherapist or anything in sciences, you must know how to use this. Even if you're in arts, maybe you're a creative person, or maybe you studied creative courses, creative related courses, you still need to know how to use. You still need to be digital literate. You need to know how to use digital tools, and you need to be able to use these tools to create solutions for yourself or for other people. Please, the next slide. So why digital literacy matters? Like I've said, economic growth. Now let me share this story with you. When I was a student in the university, so I've always had a flair for writing naturally, but I always thought to myself that there must be a way for me to actually monetize this writing, this flair for writing that I have. That I mean, I can't just, I know it comes to me naturally, but there should still be a way. It's valuable in the marketplace, a way that people can pay for it. So that thought was on my mind. Then when I got to the university, then I got to know about, digital skills like marketing, content creation, content marketing, copywriting, proofreading and editing, and all the other marketing skills, all the other skills in the marketing range. And I saw that writing was actually a crucial part of it. And I saw a way to monetize that thing that came to me naturally. And in doing that, it increased my own, should I say, personal economy. I mean, from being a student relying on our parents to see her through the first, I think, 2 years of schooling, I started taking on my own responsibilities myself. I mean, I started paying my own fees myself with the money I made from content creation. I could buy my devices, I could buy my phone, I could buy a laptop. I could feed. So you see how me it was even like even transforming a thing that came to me naturally to a digital skill. And now it doesn't necessarily mean you must naturally have a flair for everything, but you must learn. You must know what you want to learn. You must be interested, of course, in what you are learning, and you must be able to know how to turn that into a money making source for you. which I was able to do, and it increased me economically. So I could, have my own, be in control of my own finances. Then education. Now, I know right now in Nigeria, the quality of education, if we do not lie to ourselves, is not at par with what obtains in the rest of the world. In fact, especially if you're in the public system, it keeps falling and falling. So you cannot rely on the things your lecturer will teach you in classroom only. When I was in university, a lecturer would always say that, see, what we teach you here is just 30%. The 70% you have to get it yourself. In other words, it was telling us that don't rely only on what we teach in the classroom. We will not cover everything in the topic or in the syllabus or in the curriculum. We will not cover everything. Because how many hours we even have a week to teach, and then everyone is not even at the same literacy level in class or that same understanding level. So we will not cover everything. We will not like go thoroughly as you expect in some cases. So it is on you to find more information, to like literally self-educate yourself about what you are learning. So what they are just seeing in classroom is just like a foundation. You have to build on that foundation. So that is where education comes in. With the digital tools and devices and then internet access available, you can use it to actually educate yourself, even on the courses and subjects in that you're studying. Cyber security, it is even becoming very, very rampant. The other day, one of a mutual sent me a link to click on a link that is a scholarship whatever form. But looking at the architecture of the link, I could tell that this is this is a phishing link. This is a scam. If I click on this link, the chances are that it will corrupt my phone, or maybe even just hack my WhatsApp account or something. I didn't click on that link, and that was because I had the education. I had that online security education, which is very important. Then informed decision making. As mentioned earlier, the internet has provided us access to numerous perspectives, numerous case studies, numerous research that you can combine and make a sense of to make an informed decision. For instance, just like someone in this age and time where you see AI tools are coming up, and even there was recently a thing on Twitter where people were even using ChatGPT to even make illustrated images. And people were asking what was next for studio artists and maybe animators and graphic designers. Please, can someone make a reaction that I'm still audible? I apologize for the noise in my background.
You're still audible.
Okay, thank you so much. So, people were asking what's next for studio artists, what's next for animators, what's next for graphic designers, what's next for all those people online. And there was this argument that came up now that with the advent of AI and these AI technologies and tools, we are seeing more of people who would now need to be so skilled and so innovative and so creative in using AI to deliver what they want to deliver. So those are the people who would now retain the jobs. The people who cannot do that would be let go. So you see, if you are now someone who is looking for, maybe you are trying to gather information about a viable career path, you see that it will be wrong of you to only rely on what you know to make that information, because you can just literally wake up the next morning and the viable career path you were thinking about, there's an AI tool that has been developed that can now do that job. Then where does that leave you? So learning how to pull information from different corners of the internet will actually help you to, and then doing it in a critically and reflective manner, not just hook, line, and sinker, just swallowing everything like that. Because not everything on the internet, not anything on your digital devices are correct. So knowing how to make the sense of that information you gather, at least knowing where to even look for the information, knowing that there's information beyond what you know out there, knowing how to look for it, knowing how to gather it together, make sense of it, and then easy to make an informed decision, maybe for your personal growth or your professional development, or maybe even for your career path. I mean, it's very important. Then global connectivity. digital tools enable collaboration across borders. Right now, I'm not sure that I'm in the same geographical space as many people on this call, but we are using a digital device, our phones or our laptop with internet access, and now we are connected to each other. We don't have to be in the same location. And this would be the case if I were facilitating a session where maybe it was Americans that were attending, or maybe the Chinese, or maybe British, or maybe even people from different parts of the country. Right now, you can literally put up something on the internet, and people from different parts of the world see it. People from different parts of the even your country, even they get to engage with that. So you see there's many opportunities and possibilities for digital literacy. Please can we move to the next slide? And in light of this, I've put together some key skills every student needs, because I understand I'm especially speaking to a student audience. First, you need the technical skills. Now, technical skills, you need to know how to use these two tools. I mean, I've come across people who don't even know how to use Microsoft Office. I mean, there's Word, there's PowerPoint, and all of that. And so, what I mean, that is even like the basic of computer literacy. So, what then can you do? I mean, I've seen students who have to outsource assignments that require using their digital devices aside chatting to cyber cafes. I'm like, why can't you sit down, even if you don't have a laptop, and on your phone, and then put together a Google document or a Word doc, there's even like a Word app or something. Put together a Google document or maybe even a WPS document. You can format it on your phone and all, and then just take it to the cafe and print it out. In doing that, you're even training yourself to be able to format maybe when you start working in the workplace, maybe official presentations and stuff like that. But if you're outsourcing it every time, then how do you learn? Then you get to the workplace and you can't do that simple task, or you're asking around and you're wondering, but you're a graduate, how come? So what did you learn in school? Then online research skills. This is very, very important. It's even beyond knowing how to tell real news from fake news. We now live in a world where, see, it's not even about information any longer, because we even now have information overload. I mean, everywhere you turn is information. You know that the internet has democratized information. That is, it has made available to everyone who would take advantage of it. That, should I say, the ability to create and distribute information. So you can just literally go on online and just even whether they are true or not, say things or maybe make videos about them, or even give statistics and all of that. So our problem is now no longer access to information. It's now how to distinguish true facts, how to distinguish true information from fake news, from fake data. That's the problem right now, because everywhere you turn, almost everyone is a creator, everyone is a publisher, everyone is a distributor. So who's lying and who's telling the truth? That's the problem now. Then also cybersecurity awareness. How do you avoid being scammed and hacking? And you don't have to say, oh, I'm not concerned. Please be concerned. Because even doing two-factor authentication on your maybe WhatsApp, on LinkedIn or Facebook, some people don't know it. So they can wake up the next morning and their accounts have been hacked by scammers, and they're using it to scam people on their contact list. You should know all of these things. They are very simple. I mean, what if you had very private information or something you don't even want to get out there, and because someone hacked your phone, now it's at the mercy of the public, and what's next for you? So effective communication. How are you using digital platforms? I know that in a way you being stuck on digital platforms, though it's about balance, though, but in a way it should actually make you better in communication, not make you worse, even in real-time, real-life communications. But how are you using your digital platforms professionally? Are you the type that you are on a professional platform like LinkedIn, maybe you are still using abbreviations, or you are using abbreviations, or you are using shorthands to write? No, it will not work. You can do that with your personal chats, personal messages, but professionally or corporately, or even when putting out yourself there as maybe a student or a budding professional, you should be able to communicate properly. Use the right words. Use words in their full meaning, and then be able to string sentences together that makes people understand you, not them trying to get like, okay, what are you saying? Are you going or are you coming? Is it was? Is it when? Is it is? And just that mistake, many people can't even get around it, but it should not be you. Then these two opportunities. I think one of the one what I would consider like access to the internet and knowing how to use the internet, one of the great blessings in my life, because it's literally been life transforming for me. Now I remember that the year was 2020. Though I've been of course I have smartphones and all. I've been operating them before then and all of that. But 2020 really changed the game for me because because 2020 definitely schools were locked. I attended a federal university and then schools were short. So I think it was only those in federal university that could continue online learning. But then schools were short, and then we have time on our hands, a whole 10 months. So what would you do with 10 months? And it was also during COVID. Even organizations were short, churches were short. Everyone was like holed up inside their houses. It was that time I think that began my deeper interaction with the internet. I started using social media platforms more. So I was following valuable people online. I was learning from them. Like, oh, so there's something called, for instance, the space I'm in today. I think it was around that time that the foundations of that thing began to grow in my heart. There's something called maybe social impact. There's something called change making. There's something called volunteering. But there's something called like you making money off the internet. You like rendering a service and transferring it digitally to another person, another location, and the person will pay you. And then you get your money and you can buy what you want to buy or do the stuff you want to do with it. So that was when I started learning more about it. That was when I even got into freelancing. That was when I even really started like that into the content creation. I remember then that that was when I even made my first 6 figures from like content marketing and all of that. And then we had just finished 200 level in school then. So that really shaped a lot of things for me. Then I also saw opportunities. There's something called global opportunity. So you can apply for this with volunteering, or even as a student or as a young person, you can apply for this. Maybe there's something called volunteering. How does it help you? There's something called extracurricular activities. And all of that. So I got that knowledge right from the internet. Not like I attended like a session and then someone answered that I was teaching me all of this. It was from the bits and pieces I put together, from all the information I gathered from the internet, that I got to understand these things and then started practicing them. And then I applied to those opportunities, and I've been able to even gotten those opportunities, even traveled out of the country and all of that. So you see that the possibilities are much, but which aspect of the internet are you looking at? Are you checking? Please, the next slide. Then data and privacy management. This deals with protecting your information online. I see many young people, maybe I know they don't know better, but as much as the internet offers abundant facilities, it also offers abundant, should I say, destruction or something now? Because in as much as you should relate and communicate effectively, so in as much as you should relate and communicate effectively and do all of that, you should also be careful about the information you put out about yourself or your family or any personal information, any personal stuff about yourself out there on the internet, because not everyone is your friend. Not everyone, as it were, is harmless. There are people who are actively stalking people on social media, on even different platforms as social media, maybe work platforms or maybe all these other communication platforms on social media. Like, they are, as you are using the internet to look for your own good, there are also people using the internet to see how they can cause more harm to other people. So you should be very, very careful of the information you put out. Then content creation. See, that is very important. And I'm sure you need no one to preach to you the value of content creation in this time and age. Recently, from what I've seen and all, I even made a post. I've come to realize that in this time we are right now, it's not even like the best that will get the reward and the recognition. It is the person who best communicates their value. So two people can be doing the same thing. In fact, maybe one is better than the other, beats the other hands down. But if that lesser one, as it were, can effectively communicate and put energy and creativity into how they communicate, how they create content about what they are doing, opportunities will come to that lesser one, as it were. While the best will just be there and be like, why is this other person getting all of this stuff? Friend, I know that I can beat this person answer. My work is even better, and yet no one is patronizing me, no one knows me, or no one is rewarding me for my value, for the value I create. Or maybe I'm not even getting as much reward for the value I create. I buy stuff online sometimes, and I can tell you that I see the differences when it is someone who is like a celebrity or a mini influencer that sells stuff than someone who is not unknown. Someone who is unknown can sell their stuff for 20,000 naira. I mean, it's fine and all. But someone who is known, they can sell that same stuff for like 60,000, 50,000, and people would pay. Now, what's the difference? It doesn't necessarily mean that the 20,000 naira product, sometimes it could even be the same. But when you see the markup in price, you see that this person is using their brand and content creation and storytelling to get more reward for their services and for their products. It doesn't necessarily mean that their products and services are better than those who are selling lesser. But they will sell lesser because they don't have that skill or that content creation or that maybe that leverage or that influence to pull people of such caliber that can buy that product for the amount they would have wished they would sell it to pull people. So they have to make do with what they have. If it's me selling it lower to get more people. So you can even see just the difference of storytelling and these two and of content creation and these two storytelling in this scenario I just painted, and it's real, it happens. So that is why you as a student must, in this age and time, especially when you are even right now that you are still in school, it's even like one of the best times to start building your own personal brand through content creation and digital storytelling. So that when you get out there, at the end of the day, you are done with school. In some cases, you're not even looking for a job because you've proved your value over and over. You've completed your value over and over that. People just reach out to you for opportunities. That there's an opportunity here. Can you apply? Or there's something I see. I think it'll be good for you. Then we have problem solving and used to innovation, using tech, using your research devices to solve problems. It's not only for you to just consume content every day, every time, just see with your phone, see your laptop, you are watching movies, or you are just watching skits, or you are watching other people's content. What are you also creating with that device that you have? What solutions are you creating? What solutions are you with that internet access you have? What are you doing with it? So it's not only enough to be a consumer, you also have to be a creator. Then you have to learn how to collaborate. It's not not even with your colleagues now, even beyond, even people you meet online, forming partnerships, forming collaborations with them. Even me getting to facilitate in this session, it was someone in my community who reached out to me, then connected, and right here I am today without any of us in that pipeline ever seeing each other face to face. But the internet made it possible. Our ability to use our digital devices and internet access to create solutions made it possible. This class that you are in, this skills development workshop that you're undergoing, it's a solution that someone created, and you are benefiting from it today because without you being physically at a site or something, just through your digital device and internet access, and all thanks to her. So this is an example of the things you can do with the internet, with technology, with your digital devices. It used to, one of the things that really got me, I think that really got to me was while I was a student, I found that many undergraduates did not even know that their phones were for things beyond chatting and taking pictures and watching movies, and reading course slides. I mean, it was way beyond that. So, and I was always surprised that this phone in your hand, don't even know what it can be like. It can literally transform things from education to economic growth to connections to partnerships, even global opportunities, right there at your phone. So, like I said earlier, the problem is not even access to information. It's now that discipline to actually seek out the right information and to apply it, so you are not lazy in a way. Is everyone still with me? Please, make a reaction if you can still hear me. I mean, from other members too, I'm seeing Emmanuel, Iman. I just want to hear voices. I mean, I've been talking for some time now. So far, what are you with me? So far, have you gained something? I want you to unmute yourself and speak.
Yes, we are learning, particularly. I'm learning I myself. Thank you very much.
Okay, good to hear. So, but I only heard Emmanuel's voice. What happened to the other people on the call? Iman, Jackson, Mohammed,
Someone
Teddy.
commented paying very much attention. It was Tots that unmuted, but Emmanuel has commented paying very much attention.
Okay, so
Hey, thank you. It is going on well. Keep up.
okay, it's good to hear. No, I just felt like I was a lone voice for some time, and I was beginning to think, I hope you are following. So we are then continuous learning. Are you staying updated? There's a quote about, I think there's I don't see Alvin Toffler, but I am not really sure. But it says the literate of the 21st century is not those who cannot read and write. It is those who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So learning is a crucial part of your development. It's actually like a very important way to actually stay relevant in this age, especially with the tech and AI disruptions we are experiencing. Like, you can literally wake up tomorrow and there's a tool that can do your job. So you have to upskill, you have to reskill. Upskilling is you learning more about something. So maybe you're a graphic designer or something. Maybe you design flyers or design stuff like that. So if you are upskilling, then you are still in that field of graphic design, of designing. Maybe you are now upskilling to something. Please just give me 2 minutes, please. I want to change my location because of this perpetual noise in the background.
Okay.
So, like I was saying, you have to. So, let's say you are learning, you're a graphic designer, or you are in design. Let's just read it that way, design. And before you used to design flyers, you design maybe posters, maybe billboards. But now you want to upskill so you can learn about, now you're not just designing flyers and billboards and posters. You can now learn probably how to like develop a complete brand identity for how to develop a complete design identity for a brand. So from their logo, conception, to the colors they will use to represent what the brand is about, to the font they will use, to the templates they will use and all of that, then you now design that. So yeah, you are upskilling. But reskilling is, let's say maybe you write, that you're a content writer, a content marketer, a content everything. But now maybe there's an AI tool that now writes even better than you do, or has taken over that job. So you know that, in this content writing of a thing, the opportunities, especially with this AI tool, are now limitless. So Upskilling would be for that, you learning how to use the AI to better your writing. Reskilling would be you going out of the writing industry completely and maybe learning something else. Maybe sales closing, maybe how to close a sale, maybe learning something else, maybe like you developing a website, maybe learning something else, maybe you even learning how to develop AI tools. So that's reskilling, main difference between reskilling and upskilling. So when you know what I mean when I use those words, and I'll be using them quite a lot. Please, can I move to the next slide? Yes, so to make it easier, to make it simpler, I decided to do like a 3-part practical ways you can use digital literacy. There's one for your education, for your career, and I think also for social media. So now for education, I won't say much about it because I believe I've spoken to some of things in what I said earlier. So there is access to unlimited learning resources. Basically, whatever you want to learn is available on the internet. There are platforms, Udemy, Coursera, Google Scholar, then YouTube, basically whatever you want to learn. And then if you feel like you don't want that unstructured way of learning, there are other things. There are people who offer paid courses and classes that is more structured, more straightforward, and then they won't teach you with the experience because they've already made those mistakes, so they would use their knowledge to guide you. So there is access, especially as a student. You literally have no time. Just if you're still a student, that is, you don't have an excuse not to stay updated, not to learn, not to at least at the end of every week you've learned a new thing. You've moved further than you were the previous, because after going to classes and maybe your place of worship, maybe you have things to do, you should make out time for learning. Because if you don't make out time for learning right now as a student and build that habit of continuous learning, when you get in the workplace, it would be difficult because you would be more busy. You'd be busier, you'd have more responsibilities. So school is like that, still that avenue for you to build certain habits, to develop yourself. Because when you get out there, the world is more unforgiving. So if you are still a student, it can still be forgiving because, okay, you are not out. But when you're out there, the world is more unforgiving and they are expecting results by all means. So if you've not built that ability to and discipline to learn, to stay updated, to refine yourself, to develop yourself in school, you find yourself that you fall short when you get out of school. And that's the problem with many people today, that they are touting school is a scam, school is a scam. School is not a scam. It's what you put in that you get. That is it basically. And then not one part of our lives was meant to be the answer to your entire existence. It's just like school. It's just like you saying school. School is like, yeah, school is still your life, but it's not like you were meant to find the answers to all of your entirety in school. School was meant basically prepare you for the workplace and all that, but more of like develop that habit, that ability to learn, to unlearn, to relearn. Because really that's in school. So whatever needs to be, even if it costs you study no longer obtains the marketplace, you can learn, unlearn, and relearn, and make yourself relevant in another field, or study another course and create value and still be and be able to get money in return for the value you are bringing to the table, whether you are an entrepreneur or whether you are an employee. So you have to develop that in school, and there are unlimited learning resources. I had a friend who, while we're in the university, he taught himself French. And this guy right now is very fluent in French. Do you know that? And as someone who studied communications and all of that, that's an open door on its own. I listen to when I see that guy, I sometimes I wish I had that presence of mind or that discipline to have learned it all through my years in the university, because I know what it means to have such a skill, like another language aside your mother tongue and English language, especially as someone pursuing a career in international development or public policy or diplomacy or something like that. I know what that means. I know what the value it could, also the edge it could give you. But the guy literally like learned it. He didn't register for a class or a course. So he used the resources he had. Maybe I think maybe books or some movies, then YouTube, and just did that combination of things. But now he's learned it. Of course, it's not like as better as someone who was born in France or who's been learning French all their lives or something, but to a very good extent, it can even hold formal conversations in French, not informal now, formal conversations like professional conversations in French, and he taught himself. So improve your research and critical thinking skills. Like I said, school is actually like meant to teach you how to think, how to learn, really, and then develop that learning ability, that thinking ability in you. Because it is when you learn, it is when you think that you can create. It is that you can produce, and it is what you create, what you produce that can be valuable, and then that value can be rewarded, maybe in terms of monetary, maybe in terms of access to opportunities or networks, maybe even in terms of recognition, whatever that means to you. So use these digital tools, use your internet access to improve your research and critical thinking skills. Read more, read beyond what we are taught in the classroom. It's also a way to, when you consider many perspectives, you see how people position their argument. It's also teaching you how to think. Like you just don't accept everything at face value. You also try to learn the science of how things are working. How does this thing work? What's the science behind it? What's the art behind it? What's the system that powers these things? Even things that are not in your field. It's broadening your mental paradigm. So the way you interpret the world is broader, and then you can really create, you can innovate, and you can do all of that. So academic articles, non-academic articles, read them, read beyond your feed, read wide, read deep. If you are studying a course, to go deeper in that course, like beyond what your lecturer teaches you or beyond the course materials, go deeper in that course. You yourself, you find that you come to love knowledge. You come to love the art of seeking knowledge. You come to learn. You come to love, because you know that knowledge in itself, it's an exciting thing. You come to love knowledge, and you know the power it holds when you apply knowledge. Please, the next slide. Then stay organized with these two tools. You don't have to now in this time and season, you don't have to say, oh, you forgot a class, you forgot a course, you forgot something. There are many tools, or you lost a file. All those petty things. There's Google Drive, there's Evernote, there's Notion. Even if you don't, whether you're using an iPhone or Android, there are apps you can use. You can set reminders. You can even organize your assignments. You can even, beyond you doing that for your own education, what you're also teaching yourself how to do it is how to use these tools effectively. So when you get to the workplace, it's a walkover for you. In fact, your employers will be impressed that, oh, and you're an entry-level candidate and you know this much. What they are still maybe bringing professionals to come and train those who are not even entry-level candidates in the organization. And before you know it, you are getting promoted, you are getting to lead a team, you are being recommended to be a manager and all of that, because they see that, oh, you have this and you are ahead. Then learn beyond the classroom. I always say this, learn beyond the classroom. I think one of the things that really stood out for me was that while I was in school, I sought opportunities and experiences outside the classroom. And I thank God I did, because that decision actually really helped me. I told myself that I wouldn't be want to go to university and live a triangular life. Then and now I understand a triangular life to mean a sort of life where you just go to class, then you go to your place of worship, and then to your hostel or to your home, whichever. So I wasn't just going to live that kind of life. Like I would seek opportunities beyond those settings. So while in other level, you're a fresher, you're newly minted. So you just get the lay of the land, you see how things work in your university and all of that. But in 200 level, I sent out. That's when I joined ISEC. ISEC was a youth run organization. I learned quite a things from ISEC. I started learning That was the time I started also monetizing my writing skills. I had friends who were, I think they were much older, so I had friends who were like freelancing and all of that. So I worked with some of them and I learned in the process. Then I also got to know about, the volunteering. And so I even started holding classes and all of the things I've learned. And I was building up from that. And so far, then step by step, layer by layer, line by line, all of that. And I was building that. I was building for myself. Even got involved in school government, politics. So I just ensured that I just did not want to restrict myself to things in the classroom because I attended a federal university. So you already know that what I had access to in terms of education was limited. In fact, very limited. Yeah, because I went to a federal university, and the funding for federal university, as to strike. I mean, if you're not a Nigerian, my apologies. As to strike and all of that. So I told myself that I wasn't going to restrict myself to only what the classroom provided me. I will seek opportunities, and I'm glad I did because it really paid off. It really, really paid off. I mean, really, really paid off. I mean, some of it's like it's the aside the grace of God and mentorship to open. It's the foundation that even set many of the things you read in my profile, like the oath read before I came on board. Please can you move to the next slide? And please, how many more minutes do I have? So I
So,
can.
okay, so we're meant to finish at 2, but if you finish before then, that's fine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so we still have a bunch of time.
Oh, that's nice. I mean, I don't think I've ever anchored an online. I think I do. I have this long. I have over an hour or more to even teach. So that's good. Thank you. So using social media wisely, and I hope this is recorded also.
Yes, it will be shared on YouTube afterwards, so the link would now be shared with you. But it's being recorded right now.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
So using social media wisely, I've talked about using digital literacy to enhance your education. Now using social media wisely. And this is very important because I'm very sure that every one of us here will be on social media. Even for you to know about this opportunity to get selected and all that, definitely you must be on social media. Now, social media is powerful. It can build your career, it can destroy your reputation. There are many people that, by virtue of how they've presented themselves in social media, they can never really get beyond a certain extent in life because they've already placed that embargo on themselves. Especially for those who believe they have things to do with their lives. And there are many people too that, by virtue of how they've positioned themselves on social media, like they are almost made. They are made. They are made for a long part of their lives. So how you position yourself, how you present yourself on social media is very powerful. And this is because even in this age, recruiters, employers, they are looking, even people, the funders or donors, even in the social impact space, the people who give opportunities, celebrate for opportunities, they are looking at your social media footprint to even determine the kind of person you are. To determine to just, okay, how do you think? What kind of person are you? Are you what you say you are in your CV and the application and the essay you've written and all of that? So they're even looking at analyzing your social media footprints to determine, at least to make that first call of judgment about you. So you can use social media for networking. Of course, you connect with people. I mean, it was on when I got this invite from College Guide to facilitate a session that I saw that myself and the founder were even LinkedIn connections. So you can use social media to connect with people. There are also a host of classes, sessions that facilitated, maybe projects I've worked on, even businesses I've gotten, like it's from social media networking, social media connection. I also use social media for job opportunities. You see some job applications and you can use social media, apply for them. You can use social media to learn. This part I've really experienced. Now I mentioned earlier that especially in that 2020, that COVID year, I was home, so I followed especially on Twitter. So I saw how people thought. I saw the depth of information they shared, and I follow professionals, various experts. So there are even things I did not even know existed that I got to know exist just like a tweet, and then made more research and said, wow, so this thing works like this. Wow, so this thing, why social media now? The cons. Social media can be a great source of distraction, especially as a young person. Oh my God. You can doom scroll the entire day on Instagram if you are not careful. Like you wake up in the morning and before you know it, it's night, and you spend like the last 10 hours just, from Instagram to LinkedIn to Twitter to TikTok to Facebook and then back to Instagram. I mean, who has experienced this before? Can you say something if that happened to you, or am I painting an unrealistic situation?
Someone can unmute to speak. So the question is, have you found yourself doom scrolling? Have you moved from one social media app to another before you find out you've been on it for hours? So for example, you could have started on Instagram. Before you know it, you've moved to Facebook, you moved to TikTok, you moved to Twitter. So who can relate? You can either unmute or type in the chat room and I would read out your comments.
Simply, or you can make a reaction simply. I just want the class to be interactive. Oh yeah, someone says I've done it. Yeah. So you see that, and before you know it, now imagine you spending every day of the month of like a considerable part of the year like that. What would you not achieve? I mean, so social media can be a huge source of distraction if you are not careful. So you need to be disciplined. Like only use it for value added things. Follow the right people, read the right things, and then don't doom scroll. You have other things to do with your life than doom scrolling on social media. Don't spend the entirety of the day on social media, especially when you're not a content creator or you're not a social media manager, or your job does not have to do with that level of interaction with social media. Then also misinformation. Like I said, the internet has democratized access to information. Everyone today, I studied communications, and one of the things our lecturer will tell us is that due to the internet, due to digital devices and all, everyone is now a journalist. I mean, people can literally create, make we started that wherever they get the data from, you don't know, just create and publish stories online, and you'll be thinking it's true until you see it's not. So everyone is now like a creator, everyone is a journalist, everyone now has that ability to create, to produce, to distribute content. There's no social media police in that sense that is saying this is this and all of that. Except maybe so even with the regulations social media platforms make regarding misinformation, fake content, and even maybe in countries where there are laws against cyberbullying and online misinformation and all of that, it still does not entirely address social media and the misinformation whatever we have today on social media. So that is why you should verify anything before you believe. In fact, even if it's something relating to personal decision or something, don't just follow everything hook, line, and sinker. Someone can just come out and say things. I mean, it was not that this school is a scam. They just want to learn a skill and all of that. Like, learn a skill. How is school a scam? Even if you are, of course, everyone knows that with the world we live in, you have to learn, you have to keep learning. So school is not a scam in the sense that you have to keep learning. Sometimes you might even have to reskill, like move from what you study in a school to another profession entirely. The certificate you need to get in those doors, it's schools that will give you. So who else would give you? The credibility you need to start even your career or anything, most times you get it from school. Then not to talk of the discipline, the networking, the opportunities for personal development, even the skills that. So if you don't go to school, then what would you do? I mean, just been learning a skill until you wake up one morning and that the same skill you are learning, they actually are taking over, and then you don't even like, you just even the school you went to, you did not even enter, you were not even schooled, you just went through school, if you know what I mean. So it can just be something, but some people would believe that and then begin to develop a nonchalant attitude towards education. I feel like after all, there are people who did not go to school, they are dropouts, and there's Mark Zuckerberg and start giving all those examples. They did not go to school, and yet they are successful. They are successful. They are Americans. They are in a system that works. Are you in a system that works? Are you in a system that provides those opportunities for self-actualization beyond education, beyond the education system? Are you them? Are your paths different? Do you come from the kind of families they come from? Do you have the kind of leverage they had? They had? No. So why compare yourself with them? But people will not think that critically and deeply. They will just swallow everything someone says, hook, line, and sinker, and then they get themselves in trouble. So there's also cyberbullying, bullying people online. Then how to use social media. First, build a positive online presence. The social media is not the place to literally talk about everything going wrong in your life or in your family and your existence. No, give some, no. At least have some measure of decency and privacy and even mysticism around your use of social media. So position yourself as a person of value. If you're in a feed or whether you are starting or you're already there, create content about what you do. Engage with other people's content who are reasonable. Follow people who are reasonable. You all of these things I'm talking about. So you know when you come across someone who's reasonable, that this place you want to be. Follow industry leaders. Create and share valuable content. Please, the next slide. So learn. Also, you can turn social media into an opportunity. Learn free skills. There are right now. I've even found TikTok to be like a great learning platform for me. Because I think there's like almost a TikTok video on whatever you are looking for. I mean, recently I bought some devices and I had issues setting them up. I just went to TikTok how to set up this device and it brought it up. I just went to TikTok, how to do this, and it brought it up. How to do this on my, and it brought it down. Like, wow. So turn social media into an opportunity to learn. There's LinkedIn Learning, there are YouTube channels, there are TikTok educators too. And I recently got a project management certification, and how I got to know that it was even available in the first place was from a video on TikTok. Like, wow. And this is free and it's available and I can take it, and it really helped. I did. So engage with job pages, scholarships, whatever you're looking for in that aspect. Then also avoid issue landmines. Don't post reckless tweets or TikToks. Don't be reckless with your life. See, it is you that you are using social media. Social media is not the one using you. Let's do that again. It is you who is using social media. Social media is not the one using you. So don't let it be. Don't make it seem as if it is social media that is using you. Let it be you who is using social media. So there's a difference. So be very careful about what you put out. Really, it can make or break you. Really, really. Now, we even have people being arrested, being sued to court for the things they put out on social media. So that time has done that you can just do anything you like and then walk scot-free. People will trace you down, track you down, and ensure you face the wrath of the law. Then avoid engaging in online fights, cyberbullying. Please stay off that. Then beware of social media scams. Like I said, there are lots of scams. Someone close to me fall victim to a scam, like a money double scheme, and she even gave her tuition. She told me after. I was like, you should have told me, like, you gave but thank God for her, it was not much, but then she gave part of it. So, and her family was kind enough to put that back, but she learned her lesson. So there are many scams on social. As there are good people on social media, as there is true information, and there is helpful data on social media, there is also the other side. There are also harmful information, harmful data, and harmful people. You know, I mentioned something earlier that as you are seeking to use social media to do good, to empower yourself, to make progress, there are people seeking to use social media to enlarge the territory of their destruction, to get many people who are unwitting and unwilling into their web, to get them caught in their web and to deal with them mercilessly, from scamming them of their money to fake love relationships to hacking them. So people, like I said, it's neither the internet is neither a good or bad tool. It's a tool, so it depends on what to use it for. It's just like money. The same way you can use money to change people's lives, build businesses, employ people, sponsor people's education, do good for the orphanage and all that. You can also use money to wreck people's lives. Also use, isn't it? So it's a tool. So let it be evident that it is you who is using social media and not social media that is using you. Please, the next slide. Now we go to digital literacy for career advancement. And I put in this because I see that there might be maybe entry-level candidates among us, maybe like or final year graduates who are transitioning to the workplace, entry-level candidates, even if not in this session presently, but maybe listening to the recording. Like I said earlier, digital literacy, and when we say digital literacy, please, it's broad in this sense, how your knowledge of digital tools and devices, of the internet, of how you use them and how you use them to create and all of that. So that's what I meant by digital literacy in this context. I know some people might be seeking to transition into the workplace and start their careers. Please use social media to advance yourself. And what you should know is that your employer is not your career manager. Your organization is not your career manager. Your team lead or project manager is not your career manager. You are your career manager, which means that what becomes of your career lies in your hands, not even in your organization. What becomes of your career lies in your hands, especially as you are transitioning into the workplace. So you don't put your growth in the hands of another person and just be waiting for when you are called upon. You may never be called upon. In fact, you will not be called upon because you have to take responsibility for your career growth. And digital literacy is a great way to do that. From you building an online presence, there are people who are already employed, and they still have organizations and employers coaching them because of how they've positioned themselves on social media as person of value. So people want to work with them. So they're not even the ones looking for jobs. It is jobs that are looking for them. They're not the ones even looking for the opportunities. They've even become like the opportunity themselves. So showcase your skills, your projects, your achievements, share valuable insights about your work, use human relatable examples, how it connects, how it helps organizations, how it helps businesses, put it in context. Then you can also learn in-demand digital skills. I mentioned upskilling and reskilling. And the truth is, every one of us has to do. At every point in your life, you have to upskill and reskill. If you're a project manager, a tool can be developed tomorrow that you have to learn about. You have to learn how to use that tool. So at every point in your career, in your life, you always have to learn. You have to learn from developing soft skills, how to communicate, how to collaborate, to test skills, like maybe coding, data analysis, maybe cybersecurity. You just have to always learn. And guess what? These opportunities are available for you. Please, the next slide. Yes. Then use digital tools for your career growth. There's online job search. There's LinkedIn jobs. There's Upwork. There's Fiverr for those interested in jobs offered by that platform. There are Telegram and WhatsApp groups. So you just don't have any excuse. Someone put out something recently on Twitter that when he was starting his career, which was like in the year 2000, and thereabouts, that he remember that he and his friends, they would go to the cyber cafe, then like smartphones and all of these were not as much in exist as distributed widely then. Said they would go to the cyber cafe and they would pay. I don't know if I'm the only one who has experienced this. I mean, I've also, because I mean, when I was, I remember then that it's not like I'm not old, but there are cyber cafes. So, but there are cyber cafes that used to do that for those who don't have access to smartphones and laptops. So you go to the cyber cafe and you pay for maybe 30 minutes, or maybe for 1 hour. Then you use that time to browse the internet, to check out what you want to check out. Maybe you want to apply for something, maybe you want to complete an assessment. Inside they would. And yet, they knew about the available job opportunities in their time. I mean, for someone who did not have access to a smartphone but still knows about the available job opportunities, and they will go to cyber cafe, they will buy time and they would apply. So now in this age where you can literally get any information you want at your at just a snap of your fingers. I mean, anything you want, just type it on Google or go on social media, it will bring it out. He said, yes, many young people are still asking, what is this? What is that? And you are wondering that, but you have a smartphone. I mean, and you are still asking what is this and that. So use these tools for your career growth. What's the difference between this in this story between these two categories of people? One did not even have access to the digital tools, but still was able to advance his career significantly. Another has access, real-time access to the information, to even the tools, and yet he's still asking, what should I do? Or what is this? Or I've never heard this before. Like, how would you now grow? This means that you've not been using the digital tools for the right thing. You've been doing something else, and yet you are seeking to grow. So use these tools are available, from AI tools to Canvas to everything. It's there to help you work smarter. Instead of you taking weeks to think about something, with the right prompt on AI, you can get your answer in hours or even in minutes. It's not a sin to use them. It's not you not exercising your brain or something like that. You even have the ability to even use your creativity and innovation, and then you already have a prior knowledge of subject matter, to even like write the prompts in such a way that it generates a unique tailored answer to that specific context you need it for. Then start with continuous learning. I see this when people start, people don't be the kind of person that you only learn when there is training in your workplace, when there is office training or something like that. No, take it upon yourself. Like I said, what to make of your career lies in your hands. Take it upon yourself to learn. Now, I've always worked in communications, content, marketing, and all of that. But now I'm in project management. I'm still in both fields. And I had to realize that my career is in my hands. So what I make of it lies in my hands, not in the hands of my employer. So I sought opportunities again, and I landed a project management role as it were. And in coming to the faith, yes, I've had any formal certifications in, of course, I've taken some online courses as certificates. But all through my life, I see that project management, even while working as a communications strategist, is something I've done, maybe by volunteering with other organizations or even working on my own initiatives. So I've developed that skills and that knowledge and experience, and I could make something of it. And that happened because I decided to take my career in my hands. If not, I will be waiting for my employer to give me maybe roles or to like determine what's the next level in my career. And that has even broadened my own career opportunities and definitely my finances. Now imagine I was not doing anything and all of that. Would I be able to do all of that? No. So stay ahead with continuous learning. What becomes of your career is entirely in your hands. That's why you see some people move very fast in the corporate workplace. In how many years they're already managers, they're now professionals, they are this, they are that. They're even being pushed by companies, and the person that started at the same time as them, still in the same level now, is thinking, what did you do? Of course, they did something. They continuously learn. They apply what they've learned. They put themselves out there. They were responsible. They were consistent with it, and finally paid off. Please, the next slide. Now, protecting your digital life. So I've mentioned this earlier. Now, this is more on online security, and I added this session because I see that I have a community, and I'm just tired of people seeing messages from hackers, and I'm like, you are a young person. You should know how to at least do two-factor authentication on your WhatsApp account so that it's not always being hacked. And that is why I included this. So be very careful. Use strong passwords, because this is a thing. Because like I said, as you are using social media to do good, as you are seeking to use social media to do good and to make progress and to do all of that, there are some people that are actively seeking to use social media to wreck people's life, to wreck people's finances. I mentioned earlier how it was even a considerable, like a church member who sent me the link that, no, apply for this scholarship. But I just looked at it and this doesn't look like a scholarship link. This looks like a phishing link. This is a scam. If I click on it, only God knows what will happen to my devices. I just told him thank you. I didn't. So use two-factor authentication. I think this is available on almost all platforms. So it helps you to safeguard your account. So no one can just wake up one morning and decide to want to hack your account. At least you'll be notified. You've put in extra protective measure and you'll be notified that you know what to do. Then be careful with free Wi-Fi. For those who like connecting to Wi-Fi anyhow, it's not every Wi-Fi you connect to. So in fact, I don't even advise connecting to public Wi-Fi except you know the source and you trust the source. Because it can also be a way to hack or to steal information or to even do different kind of things with your IP address or internet connection and all of that. And I mean it's not even moved from only scamming people to even using people's identities to commit crimes that they were not aware of. So you see why you need to be security conscious and think before you click. Don't just click on everything clickable. Look at it very well. If it does not pass your test, don't click on it. Instead of clicking on links, sometimes what I do is I just say, okay, what is this thing about? Maybe from the link. I'd rather go and now type it using text on Google. So if the link exists, it will. If it doesn't, then this is a scam. Please, the next slide. This is where I do that interactive, the interaction techniques. Is everyone with me? If you are with me, if you've learned something, unmute yourself and speak or share in the comments. Anyone with me? I want to hear feedback. I want to read feedback. I want to hear feedback.
Yes, we are following.
Okay. Yeah, Shady. What about other people? Okay, Emmanuel. Shady says we are here. What are those who have not spoken in this class? Matthew, I'm not sure I pronounced that correctly. I'm sorry, but I've not heard from you. I've not read from you. Mohammed, I've not heard from you. I've not read from you. So spotting fake news and online scams, check the source. What source is it from? Now, is it from reputable sources? This is what it means by BBC or CNN. BBC and CNN are not doing reputable sources for that, please. But check if the source is reputable. Compare it with other websites. Verify facts. Don't just only And when I was in A-level college, my history teacher taught us how to fact check information. It says, for instance, when you go on Google and type what is maybe marketing, the people just maybe read the first page and that is all they read. Yeah, no. He said check at least. I think he mentioned like 3 to 5 sources. and compare information. Is this one saying, what are they all saying? What are they not all saying? Is this one saying something different? So he said that is one of the ways to check, and I've always used that. So when I check for things, I just don't go with the first website or first web page I see. No. I also click for that. Are you like 3, 4 more sources, or maybe even 5? Like, okay, this one said this. Let me check another person. This one said this. So from there, I can verify facts. I can compare. I can verify facts. I can even see maybe some discrepancies. And all of that. So then look at the URL. You would know when the URL is off if you look at it critically. Then about emotional traps. One of the ways scam people is using fear or excitement to trick them. Like, oh, if you click on this, you get $50, and all of you actually click on it, and you find out that it was a phishing scam. Or if you don't click on this, something. I mean, all of those kind of things. You should be wary of that. Please, the next slide. I think this is like finally this is second like last slide. So AI and the future of literacy. So if you think about this literacy, and I felt that it would not it would be incomplete without mentioning AI, because AI is really revolutionizing a lot of things. I mean, was it on Thursday or Wednesday that I just say that there's this skill build image or something? I'm not sure if I pronounce it correctly. That you can like upload your picture, a photo in I think ChatGPT, and then it brings out like an animated version, like or something like that. So imagine the possibilities that could create for maybe someone who is creative enough to maybe design comics, maybe animated books or all of that. So you see the level of creativity, and just with a word, with a prompt into ChatGPT. So AI is radically revolutionizing even the workplace as we know it, in every field as we know it. It is radically revolutionizing it. And you, like I said earlier, you must stay updated and continuously learn to remain relevant in today's world. The literate of the 21st century, like Alvin Toffler rightly said, is not the person who can not read or write. It is the person who cannot learn, unlearn, and relearn. So AI is changing the world. Many AI tools, but AI can't replace your creativity. It can't replace your emotional intelligence. It can't replace your human judgment. So this is where you learning how to master AI tools coming. There was recently an argument on a Twitter. People were saying that we are currently moving into a world. Please, the next slide. Yeah, I put it there. We are currently moving into a world where it's no longer this is only what I can do. Like, oh, it's only going to be that I know. No, if you are currently moving into a world where it's not like a combination of skills. Like Robert Greene said here, the future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine them in creative ways. Now, we are currently moving into a world where someone who knows maybe different, maybe not even on different, but someone who has mastered AI, we use AI to produce different things. And those are the people that will now survive, that would thrive in this evolving workplace. So not only someone who just says, oh, this is what I know how to do. No, we are currently moving to that time where it is now those who have mastered AI to the extent that they can use AI to produce different things. That is, they know the prompts to use to produce it. So that person can be a designer. So that person will do the job of a graphic designer, a content writer, a data analyst, everything works with the use of AI tools, because they would have mastered how to prompt those tools to produce it. So that is the workplace you are currently moving into. So you even see that if you've not started paying attention to digital literacy, to AI education, you are doing yourself a great disservice, and you still have to, and you have much to do to, to catch up with the current workplace we have right now, the current condition of the workplace we have right now. So the future belongs to those who learn more skills and combine them in creativity. And you can't do that without learning, without continuously innovating, without continuously producing. without continuously reskilling and upskilling, because really the work is cut out for us. I mean, the work is cut out for us, really. So this is where I stop, so I can take questions, comments, and then
See a
feedback. Yeah, I
question.
would like everyone to speak.
I see a question in the chat. Should I read it out?
Yes, please.
Okay. So this is from Jack Tone. My concern is that many youth or students have these soft skills. They have attended trainings. The obstacle lies in job seeking. The link between these people with relevant companies is very difficult. For example, online writing and freelancing skills needs a link between the writer and client. How can you solve this puzzle?
Yeah, so if you have the soft skills, you have attended trainings, then you must to preach this thing you say. There's a couple of tips I will share. First, it's not only you learning a skill or you learning a soft skill or a technical skill. What solutions are you using that skill to provide? Like I said, okay, I know how to write, I'm good at writing, but what solutions can my writing provide? Then I went into content marketing and see that I could write content that could sell people's products. I could write content that could educate people about people's products, help business owners educate people about their products. I could write content that could make your website rank highly on Google so that more people see what you are doing and able to patronize it. So it doesn't stop with learning a skill. You have to use that skill to create and innovate and produce solutions. It's just not about knowing how to design. What solutions are is your design? Is your designing doing providing? What solutions to which category of people? Is it to business owners? Is it to academic professionals? Is it to students? So what solutions? For instance, take for this skills development workshop, for example. Now, this is a solution, and there are certain skills that have gone into this, from project management skills, from communication skills, and they were brought together to create a solution. Now, this solution is you training young people on what they need to know to thrive in this category and all. There's project management because they have to design the project. They have to use research they have to use research, analyze data, then to provide the solution, then use research, project management. They have to design how the project would go. Okay, what's the project idea? Okay, who is the target audience? How do we reach them? Okay, what are the phases of this project? Okay, do we need funding here? And all of that. So you see the series of skills that have gone into creating this solution. Then communication. How do they communicate this thing they've already built or this idea they have to the target audience? And today we're having this class and you are benefiting from it. So it doesn't stop with you learning a skill. Like I said, I've been managing projects. It's a skill I've built. While I was volunteering in other organizations, facilitating sessions, to taking the lead on projects, volunteering on projects, to even starting my own non-profit to the various projects we've put out. And I was able to now take all of these skills and then provide them as a solution to the company I currently work with, that, oh, you have this project. I can come in and manage this project for you and we will achieve these particular milestones. So what is the solution that you would use? So it shouldn't stop at you just sending skills. What is the solution then? 2, how are you communicating that solution? That's where positioning yourself comes in. Because you learning the skill or having a solution doesn't mean that the client will automatically appear at your door or the opportunities you need will just land on your laps. No. How are you communicating? For instance, in 2020, I was sitting out a lot of writing and all of that, and then someone also posted my message and all, and from there, I got a writing gig that made me my first 100,000 naira. So you see, if I had not positioned myself that way, if I had not communicated what I was doing, nobody would know what I was doing, and nobody would reach out to me for writing services or other marketing services and even pay me. So how are you positioning yourself? How are you positioning that solution that your skill provides? Then it's from you using social media to position to applying to jobs, even telling people, all of that matters. And the another thing I would like to point out is consistency and resilience. What you should also understand is that this skill you have, this solution you have provided, this communication you can do, you're not the only one who can do it. Let's be frank. You're not the only one who can do it. There are thousands of young people out there that can do what you can do, some even better than you. So you need to be creative. You need to be consistent. Don't just say, okay, you've been looking for jobs, you've been applying for a month, you got nothing, and then you stop. You will get nothing if you stop. So you need consistency and you need resilience where no matter what you face, you don't let it deter you. Even if you encounter a challenge, you look for how you can work around that challenge and still get what you want. So there are various factors that go into that bridge the link between you having a skill and you getting a job. The truth is that right now in these present times, especially with the rise of AI tools, especially with the competition in many industries, there are many people now doing what you know how to do, many people rising, the competition is quite tough. So you need to stand out as much as you can, in whatever way you can, from you being good at what you do. In fact, you seeking to be the best at what you do, to you being creative enough to provide, to build solutions from what you can do that is helpful, and to you finding your target audience, to you communicating effectively on social media, to you not giving up no matter what, you get what you want. So it's quite a process, and that is that is what you need to bridge this thing. So because automatically this song doesn't need to fall on your laps. You've learned a skill, doesn't that if you fall off in your laps, no, that's just foundation. You just took the first step. You need to take the other step. I hope that has answered your question. Jack tone. So any more questions before we wrap this up? Can anyone hear me? Any more questions? Yeah, please type in the chat or unmute yourself and speak.
Okay, Emmanuel had a question also. I'm just seeing his comment. Let me read out his question. So he says, could Otter AI be assessed as an app? Or if not, how could it be incorporated into use? Through which specific YouTube handles could one access free informative copywriting courses? I believe that's his question.
Okay, so I think the questions you asked, you can just go on Google, type Otter AI, and then follow whatever comes up, and you go through the process. So these are things that you should be able to get yourself. Then for which specific YouTube handles could one access, go on YouTube, type in copywriting. You see many resources on copywriting. Sit with them. Or if you know that you don't want to do that, go through that stress or that time of learning a lot or something, you can just simply look for a paid copywriting course, maybe offered by a platform or by someone who's an expert, and get them to teach you. Now, okay, then this just came to mind. There's one thing you should also learn in these ages, how, in fact, your before you even ask any question, learn how to use these tools to get your questions answered. So you need something, just go on Google. What is this? Google will bring it out. Okay, what is this app? How do I use this app? It will bring out a list of steps. So that you will only ask. So it will guide you in asking questions essentially. anywhere, maybe any event or any place you ask, so that the questions you ask won't just be basic questions that Google can provide. Because in the that you're like, you can, so that you can maximize the time and resources you have to actually ask more specific tailored questions that really provide insights from you to move from here to there. Now I'm saying this generally because it's something I see many young people also do. So please, if you still have any questions, Imani, I hope that has answered your question. If you have any more questions, please put in the chat. I think we have about 11 minutes to do. So one of my teachers, or should I say lecturers, so we used to say that there are two G's that you must always use. The first G is God. The second G is Google. So you must learn that art of knowing how to get, at least even if you don't have, if it doesn't provide you all the answers, at least you get the basics from Google already. You also do your own research. You find out. There's a way it also helps you in solving problems and thinking critically. That is very good. Any more questions? Or so,
Okay. Does anyone have any more questions or comments? Anything they want to share? Any thoughts before we let Miss Oyindamola go for today? Is someone unmuted? Let me see. Okay, no. All right. I want to assume that we have no more questions for today. Thank you so much, Ms. Oyindamola, for joining us today. I'm sure that everyone here has learned and been impacted in one way or the other, and they've been able to take away from the things that you've taught today. Even I, as I was listening, I definitely have also learned a couple of new things. So I would like to thank you so much for, okay, hold on. I see it. Is this a question? Okay, shall we have the PDF shared to our mails? Okay, yes. If that's okay with you, are we allowed to share the slides with everyone else? Can Ms.
I
Oyindamola?
yeah, you can anyone here
Yes. No, I wanted to ask, can I share the slides with them, the PDF version? I think that's what Emmanuel is asking. Hello? I don't know if Ms. Oyindamola can still hear me.
I can't hear you. Can anyone hear me, Fiola?
Can you hear me? Hi, can you hear me now? Hello? Can anyone else hear me? Let me just make sure it's not a meeting.
Yes, we're getting you.
You can hear me? Okay.
Oh,
I
okay, I
don't.
can hear you now.
Awesome. Awesome. All right. So someone asked if the PDF can be shared with them. I wanted to make sure that was okay.
Oh, okay, yeah, sure.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much, Mr. Indamola. I wasn't sure if you could hear me before when I was thanking you, but thank you so much for joining us today. I'm sure that everyone who has been here, and even those who would listen to the recording, who are unable to make today's session, I'm sure they'll be greatly impacted by everything you've taught. Even I, as I was listening, I was able to learn so much. I'd like to thank you for taking out the time from your busy schedule and your busy day to be part of today's training and to train our young people in digital literacy. So thank you so much for joining us today.
Yeah, thank you very much for the invitation too. It's been an honor actually to speak, and I apologize for the lateness and not being able to turn on my camera, but I'm glad that this happened really. Yeah, thank you.
Thank you so, so much. I would share the recording with you as soon as it's uploaded on YouTube, and with everyone else, you would also be able to hear and re-listen to the recording so that we can all relearn and get a second ignition basically just to learn about what we've spoken about today.
Okay.
I don't know
Okay,
if you have Yes, I don't know if you have, we usually ask, is there an assignment you would like to give anyone here? Is there any task you would like everyone to do at the end of the day?
Okay, so there's a task, but it's not to be submitted to me. They can submit to you and you can help them with that. So I'll just like you to go.
Okay.
So I'll just like you to go on ChatGPT or any AI tools you have access to, prompt it, tell you that, okay, maybe you're a student or whatever you're doing, you have a skill, tell it that you have a skill, and then tell it what career you would like to pursue. Maybe you want to pursue a career, maybe social impact, maybe in finance. So tell it to develop a comprehensive career roadmap based on the prompts you've given it. And then when it brings it out, then take insights it to curate your own learning and your own learning process, your own personal development process. I think it will really be helpful for everyone. So
Okay.
you might not take 100% of what it says, and very useful insights, even things we're not looking at. Like, at least you really prepare yourself for the future in that career you want to pursue.
Okay. I'll just type in. So go on ChatGPT and prompt it that you have a skill. Ask ChatGPT to develop a comprehensive career roadmap based on the prompts it's giving you. I use it to develop a roadmap to prepare for the future. I think that's it, basically.
Yes.
Yes. All right. Thank you so much once again. For everyone else, this assignment would be shared on the Google Classroom so that we can all submit our responses together, and then it will be marked from there. So as I always say, it's always advisable to do any of the tasks that the facilitators ask us to do, because it's just a way to develop your skills and just to have a post illumination. How am I learning from what is currently going on? So thank you so much once again. Thank you everyone for joining. I don't know if you have any questions or anyone else has anything they want to add before we call it a day. Okay. All right then. Thank you so much for joining again, Ms. Oyindamola. Do have a lovely day, and for everyone else, do enjoy the rest of your day.